All right. Let's see. Okay. Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to this Monday episode of Crypto with Chris. I think we got some good stuff to break down today. The big recurring theme is, when is this rally going to end? And is there any gas left in the tank? And I think that there is, and I'm going to tell you why. So let's start with the Bitcoin cycle. Currently, we're on day 40. This is right around, day 40 to 50 is kind of right around the time you look for a cycle high in a scenario like this, in a strong uptrend. I'd really still like to see us poke above 38,000 and break this level here and set a new higher high for the cycle. Even if it just pokes up a little bit, just from a technical standpoint, that'll be really nice to see. So, but even just looking at it from moving averages, there's still a lot of strength, which I'll get into in a minute. I kind of wanted to go through a few things just on the weekly time frame first, because I think that actually looks really good. Let's use this chart. So yeah, nice big, hammer candle, bullish hammer candle. This could be, the makings of a swing high, but we've kind of just kept right on going, and it's not looking like that so far. We're basically up today on the day, not a ton, but we're still just continuing this uptrend. So this was a nice weekly candle to have close out the week. I mean, it dipped way down. We got all the way back down into the range and just had strong buys all the way back up to close out the week on a high, basically. And since then we've just continued to go up from there. So I like what I'm seeing. I'm really liking that the 10-week moving average now is, starting to push way up into this range that we were in. I'd really like to see that continue, and I'd love to see the 10-week get back up or get all the way to the top of this range before we really kind of start to roll over and reset, because that'll help, support that, once that does happen, which is going to happen, by the way. Don't just think that this is just how it's going to be and go up forever. Yes, I know we have had upswings that dwarf this, and I'm sure we will continue to, but I just don't know that that's one of them right now. We've had some really nice price action here. And it is just, overbought on a number of levels, and it is due for a reset, and we are going to get that reset. It's just a matter of when. Is it this week? Is it next week? Yeah, I think that it's interesting. Actually, one thing that I just noticed. So I've been pointing out these bearish divergence flags on the weekly time frame, and we started with one here, and like it's been pushing this up and up and up every single week for 4 weeks in a row. It's been pushing this up, and earlier there was one here today, and right now it's just disappeared. So this is actually a sign of strength for me also. But real quick, what's driving the strength more than anything? Like, what's driving all of this right now is, if we go over to the dollar index, it's continuing to free fall. Meanwhile, global net liquidity is continuing to just surge up and is setting like 3 or 4 month highs now, going back to July. So this is what's happened. This is where all the upside is coming from, is this chart right here. This is like kind of all you need to know. I mean, even if you look at stocks, they're all up on the day too. And so until this changes, we have strength in the market that is going to continue to push all risk assets up. And so this is kind of what I'm going to be paying attention to in terms of like my general guide on if and when the rally is cooked for now. But as long as this keeps pushing down, and as long as this keeps pushing up, there's strength to be had. There's momentum to be had. And that's reflecting in a lot of these charts that we're going to go through here. But yeah, looking at Bitcoin, looks still really strong. I did want to kind of check. I was looking at these moving averages. Okay, so they have started to converge. The 10 and the 20 have started to come a little bit back together again. You can't really tell because it's all masked by all the candles and everything that's going on here. That's why I like to have that indicator, because sometimes it's hard to tell if these moving averages are coming together or moving apart or running parallel or whatever. And so just having a direct gauge of that makes it a whole lot easier to tell. So that's good. Or not good, but that's, noteworthy rather. let's look at the RSI. RSI has reset on the daily, so I guess that's also good too. And also, this is interesting to me. This DSS oscillator is kind of bottomed out and is starting to roll over too. Now, that's not to mean you can't have downward price action in an upswing on this oscillator, but I don't know. Maybe this is saying that, you know, this is indicating that the cycle is close to being cooked too, but we'll find out. Also, we've got above average volume today, which is nice to see. Just things are looking good, generally healthy. I mean, Bitcoin's only up, you know, 0.5%, but it's still continuing this back here when we're like, oh, this looks like a bull flag, you know, this looks like a continuation. It absolutely still looks exactly the same way. It still looks like a bull flag. It still looks like a continuation. Eventually it's going to run out, but nothing has changed structurally, really, on so many levels here. It's still holding the 10-day moving average. I mean, yeah, it got down below it a little bit. It bounced off the 20, but it's now back up and holding the 10. And probably a lot of the rest of these are kind of doing something similar. Like take a look at Ethereum. Yeah, I mean, it's a little rockier as it will be because it's higher beta. But it got down to the 20. It's currently above the 10. Same kind of deal. And here I'm going to sound like a broken record again as I go through these, but all these look really good still on both the Bitcoin pair and the USD pair. You know, Solana never even got down to the 20 on either pair, and is, you know, it's a little bit below the 10 at the moment, but like this is the weakest it's looked in a long time. And Tau is still just continuing. Like, look at Tau on the weekly. This is bonkers. I was looking at this the other day. Like, what? This is what you want to see right here. Like, this 10-day moving average is blown through the top of this range already, blown through the previous breakout level. You know, it's totally in price discovery. And so what's going on with Tau that I've kind of gathered is not too long ago, I don't know, some months back, a few months back, they released a big update to their platform that made it so that it's much easier for like third-party developer groups to come in and just build out new subnets, to launch new subnets on the network without having to have the team behind the scenes do all the, you know, to actually put it into place. You can just come on, you can build out a subnet, and you can start building products using BitTensor's, you know, computing framework. Basically, it's AI machine learning computing just power. It's massive amount of GPU power that it has. And so a number of teams came in, you know, sort of unexpectedly, and it just got a lot of attention, like from developers. Like, people are into the product and people are into what they're doing there, and it was just sort of surprising, and I think caught some people off guard how much interest there was going to be in building out these new subnets, you know, these basically new products. What that means is people are building out, you know, use cases and products to use Tau as the back end. And, you know, things like they're building out their own chatbots, they're building out their own text to image, they're building out their own, like I saw this one when I looked at, it's a cool sort of, you know, AI assistant that embeds and integrates with Telegram and Discord and, you know, all kinds of stuff like that. And it's all running, you know, basically on the BitTensor, you know, computing power and so stuff like that. And that's great. That's really great to see. And that, you know, caught the eye of a lot of investors, and, you know, it's just, this is what's happening. So this product is basically gaining real world adoption, you know, at a rate that perhaps was quicker than expected. And so that's what's driving this. And it's now ranked number like 37 market cap, you know, in the space. It's really just blown up. I mean, it's done, you know, almost a 10x here. So like, really good stuff to see. So I'm stoked on that project. Yeah, Injective, again, this one I pointed out on Thursday that it looked like it was rolling over. This was kind of the one that looked the most like it was going to roll over, but look how it held. You know, it sort of has held on the 20-day. The 20-day is still running upwards, and it's still holding support on that. I mean, it really only closed against below it once, and then immediately, you know, was right back up above the 10-day, and it's kind of hovering right in between right now. And yes, this all looks like it's rolling over still, but this is kind of good to see. It's still generally, you know, setting higher highs, and higher lows in this like short-term span of like this week plus right here. And so it's not, you know, blowing up like some of these other projects, but it's not cratering either. It's just kind of holding station and, you know, reloading basically. This is kind of what you want to see. And then, yeah, again, I'm just going to they're all the same, but my point being with all of these is there's still lots of strength. Basically, none of this looks like anything is run out of steam. Everything is still pushing the tops of the bands and not even touching the 10-day on half of these, you know. Granted, these are small caps, but that's interesting to me too, because like it's not just these, you know, Bitcoin is still up, ETH is still up, you know, Solana's down a little bit, but like the big dogs are still doing their thing too. So it's not just like all these little micro caps. And so, yeah, look at this. I mean, this is, you know, major higher high today, right now, as we're speaking. This one is pretty exciting. Did this just set a new all-time high just now? In fact, what are we at here? 12501. What did we get up to? 12501. We did. So as we're doing this, as I'm doing the show, Zero Knowledge has just set a new all-time high. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm gonna have to go check as soon as I'm done here. But yeah, boom, just like that, up 35% on the day. So we're still getting 35% days on random alts and things like that. So based on this, bottom line, Rune. Oh, okay, Rune kind of slowed down. Anyway, bottom line. I sound like a broken record when I say this, but I think we've got another week left. You know, I still think we've got another week left, and I'll see where things look like on Thursday. And maybe it'll be, you know, rolled over by then. Maybe it won't. But at this rate that we're going, and at the timing we are in the cycle, granted, you know, since we're still only on day 40, plenty of cycles. Like, let's go back and look at some previous cycles. Actually, let's look at this on the weekly. It's a little cleaner. But once things start kind of moving, you know, you get 50-day highs a fair bit. You know, yeah, you get some 40s too, obviously, but you know, you got a 57 here, 55, 78 here, 50 here, 48 here, 49 here. So in sort of a generally healthy bullish uptrend, you see these, you know, day 40 plus highs. And so right now, being on day 40, I mean, watch, maybe we only get a day 41 high, and that's fine. Obviously, I don't care. This cycle's been amazing. It would post another higher high back here. It would make it technically a right translated cycle. And that's a really great look, you know, coming into the end of the year. So I think that would really bode well for December and into January, if we can get a new high in this week. And so if we don't, it's fine too. It's not like this is bad, or that means that if we don't, we're going to, you know, bomb out or anything like that. But just from like a kind of a nuts and bolts technical level, I'd like to see that. So yeah, that's really what I'll be looking for. And I don't know if I've got much else to talk about today so far. Again, I'm just kind of repeating myself because it's sort of the same. It might be a quick update. Let's look at maybe dominance for a second. Dominance is starting to fluctuate, I guess, a little bit. We are seeing the others roll over a little bit dominance wise. Bitcoin has kind of stayed flat. ETH is sort of staying flat. So, and sure, we are getting a number of alts rolling over. You know, you're seeing the Solana Injective on this list. a few of the bigger ones. I'm sure if I pulled up like the Coin Market Cap or CoinGecko or whatever, there's a lot of stuff that is cooked and is rolling over that's in that higher market cap area. Rune probably is one of those that would fit into that category. And so, yeah, so that's what we're seeing here. But, you know, elsewhere, further out the risk curve, we're seeing, you know, up 14% on the day, up 40% on the day still, you know, so there's still steam. There's still steam in the market until Bitcoin and ETH really roll over. That's when I'm going to go, okay, it's done. Like the rest of this stuff, it doesn't so much matter. Like this is just kind of money going, you know, the hot ball of money going around to different projects and stuff. But as soon as Bitcoin and ETH fully sort of cement, and really Bitcoin for that matter, as soon as Bitcoin rolls over and starts again closing consecutively below this 10-day moving average, that's my trigger. That's when I go, okay, it's done. You know, time to reset, time to reset sentiment and correct a little bit and you know, reload. So that's not happening yet. And so that's where we're at. All right. I think I'm going to end it on that. I think it's going to be a quick one today, but we'll, you know, recheck everything on Thursday, see where things are at. Hopefully we have set a new higher high by then. Doesn't have to go much. It just has to really, I think, what was it? What's the high? I think it's right at, yeah, 37,999. So it just has to hit 38,000 basically, or whatever, you know, 37,999.50, and I'll take it, and we'll have a new higher high. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for in the coming days. I think we'll get it. I think we'll get it based on this, and fingers crossed. So all right, I will see you guys